south.
Dear viewers, welcome to the BenarNews Live. I am Asif Robi from Washington, D.C. Well, on Bangladesh situation, at least dozens of people have been killed in civil unrest in Bangladesh. Today, the Thursday, was the worst day of violence. At this point, I'm going to connect with Dr. Professor Ali Riaz, who is a well-known political analyst and a distinguished professor at Illinois State University. Hi, Dr. Riaz, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Asif.
Okay, Professor Riyadh, uh, you live far away from Bangladesh, but your eyes on the Bangladesh situation, like many others. So, what are you seeing? What's actually going on in Bangladesh right now?
Asif, I find it difficult to explain, to describe to you what I'm witnessing, what I'm gathering. And despite the fact that I am being, as you have mentioned, thousands of miles away, and Bangladesh is under complete communication shutdown at this moment. All the communications have been shut down, which left us with a very little opportunity to know what is going on. But until a few minutes ago, a few hours ago, what we have seen on the street is a massive demonstration against this regime. Most importantly to me is the brutality that I have witnessed from the regime and the police and all other law enforcement agency. Uh, I feel pain to say this one, that this is unprecedented. I mean, saying that this is unprecedented is an understatement. As I said, it's difficult to find a word to describe. Bangladesh has seen violence, but a student unrest, you know, turning into this kind of situation because of the repression that has been, imposed on them, that perpetrated on them. There are reports that I have seen from international news agencies about 32 persons died so far. Uh, I have talked to a news agency who have documented at least 22 individuals' details who have died over the today, Thursday, and most importantly, this is in a sense unprecedented, unanticipated, unexpected. But on the other hand, it was a long time coming. I mean, what we have seen over the last decade is this repressive measures that has been perpetrated. The media has been pretty much, the social media has been taken under control. All sorts of things that we have seen. This is an authoritarian regime, and this authoritarian regime is now practically has, it appears to me, has a wage of war against its own people.
Yes. As Professor Riaz mentioning that there is internet complete shutdown in Bangladesh. Even to our reporters, it is very difficult right this moment to communicate to them with regular phone lines. So I urge all our viewers, if you see this video from any point of Bangladesh, you can put comment here so that we can understand. I'm going to Professor Alirias again, as you said, that this is kind of unprecedented situation in Bangladesh, and the face of this movement was like job quota movement. But do you think now this movement has a greater dimension or another dimension?
It has turned into something bigger than the quota movement.
Hmm.
Those who initiated it,
Hmm.
those students who have no affiliation with any political party or whatsoever,
Hmm.
their demand was very simple.
Hmm.
In 2018, the government has actually scrapped the quota system after months and months of demonstration. At that point, the students were beaten, incarcerated and attacked, all sorts of things. At that point, Prime Minister herself declared on the parliament that she has decided to scrap it. It was an administrative decision they took. Let me put a footnote here. Now that Prime Minister has recently mentioned that she has done that because being annoyed, that is a violation of her oath of office. Because Bangladesh, when someone takes oath of office as the minister or prime minister, they said they're not going to be making decision based on any kind of feelings. Nevertheless, this is what it started. For days, students were protesting because the court decided, you know, that they are going to reinstate it. They were asking the government to take measures so that this can be done. Government ignored it. Not only ignored them, vilified them, and demeaned them. And then came this practically a clear instruction from the ruling party secretary general to go after this, peaceful protest. That is how it has turned into, this kind of violent situation. This is a result of the government's not only inaction, but as a matter of fact, cold-blooded decision to go after this younger population whose demand was very limited. Now it has transformed into something else because of these deaths. This is the situation the government has created. And as I said, it is long time coming. I'm not surprised in a sense. I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised in the sense that this is what the authoritarian regimes do. And this regime has transformed into authoritarian regimes over the years for a decade. Three fraudulent elections, and practically ruling the country with coercion and force. And that is what has led into. And there are other things that has actually now galvanized the younger population. There's no jobs. Over the years, we have been
Yeah.
told that Bangladesh is making economic progress. Where is the job for the students? Where is the job for the younger population? Then you have, these are the students who are 18, 20 years, 20 to 40 years old. For them, they had no opportunity to vote. you know these are
Right.
the kind of things. Economic situation has deteriorated, enormously. So all these pent up, thing that is now being displayed on the street.
Yes, Professor Riaz, maybe you are aware of this, that there is a call for dialogue from the law minister, but also you are also, I think, that you are aware of this, that there are a lot of Facebook status earlier this day that the protester was saying that we cannot go to dialogue over the dead bodies of people. What's your take on this?
What is the dialogue is going to be about? One should
Uh,
ask the law minister. He's telling that this is about the quota reform.
mhm.
Isn't this the same law minister a few days ago ridiculed the students?
Yes.
Didn't the government, including prime minister and the ministers and their henchmen, not to mention the leaders, have repeatedly told us that there cannot be a dialogue until it is resolved in the court? Now, what are they talking about? When we, I mean, from the civil society, from within the Bangladesh, outside, repeatedly request, plead, beg that go talk to them. What they say? We cannot do it until the court decides. Now, how they are talking about the negotiation? If it is a dialogue, first thing, there are other issues that needs to be resolved. There are dozens of people who have been killed. Someone must have instructed it. Someone must have raised the rifle and shot at them. They need to be held accountable. That is nothing to be discussed. That is an administrative decision. That is an executive decision.
Do you
The
think if any
government the
executive
communication.
decision
Why?
comes, yes, do you think that if any executive decision comes from government, that they accepted the demand from the protester, the situation will come down?
This is the beginning, but that is not only thing that would actually
Okay.
come down the situation, because
Okay.
now it has gone beyond the quota system.
Mm.
You know, yes, the government can say, okay, we are going to, with an executive order, we are going to scrap it. That's fine. But what happened to the people who have died? The mothers have lost their children. Friends have lost their friends. Younger population with enormous potential has been killed in cold-blooded. In cold-blooded, I insist on cold-blooded because this could have been avoided. Party Secretary General had instructed. He publicly said that the Chhatra League would provide a befitting response. This is the befitting response they were talking about, you know. So they have to take responsibility. These have nothing to do with dialogue. These are the responsibilities of the state. After perpetrating so much violence on the people, Yes, there are response to this. There are reactions to this. There has been arson. You know, this could have been avoided. This is not the students didn't go 15 days ago on the street and started vandalizing things or breaking things. They waited. They waited. Look, this is the student. These are the students who went to the president's official residence, asked for a conversation.
Yes, as you were telling that the protest was initially very peaceful. However, after the prime minister's comment at her press conference on Sunday, the Sunday took a different direction or dimension, and gradually the situation is rapidly changing, getting worse. So, what's your take? What is next?
The next is, first of all, the first thing the government has to take responsibility for the entire situation descending into this kind of wanton killing. This is wanton killing. You know, as I said, someone must have been instructed. Police doesn't act on their own, so police must have been instructed to do so. Who ordered it? And those who have killed the students should be held accountable. They should be immediately brought to justice. This has to be made very clear that these are the people. They need to actually put out the list that who are the people who have been killed. And the government must acknowledge this. Then taking actions against those who have engaged in this violence. Most importantly, as I said, I say time and again, this is a long time coming. It is not only about what happened in the past 2, 3 days, it is beyond that. The government needs to actually initiate a process where these entire authoritarian practices are shunned. People's voices needs to be heard. An inclusive political system needs to be restored, and those can be done through a inclusive election, a neutral election. Let the people decide who they want to be in power. But most important, immediate action. First of all, scrap this quota reinstatement thing. Then make sure that those who have done this kind of heinous act are brought to justice. Those are the things that must be done. Universities should be open. Communication blackouts should be immediately lifted. And those who have been injured should be provided with care. And those who have been arrested needs to be released. There should be a clear acknowledgement of the situation, responsibility of the government, and beyond that, they should apologize. Those who are responsible should step down immediately. Immediately.
Okay, Professor Riaz, I humbly just telling you that in road safety movement, there was promises from authority that they will withdraw the cases against those students, but there are reports that these cases are still going on, and and so do you think that if the government promised that they will withdraw cases against students, the situation will come down? And I have another additional question, like a Facebook post from the state run broadcaster BTV Bangladesh television. They appeal for help, saying that their facilities is in flames and many people are locked inside. You, Professor Riaz, follow Bangladesh history for a long time. Since, if we say since 1971, have we ever experienced that BTV Bangladesh television is under flame and they're asking for this kind of help?
No, it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. Even if I recall, I don't. I mean, I was not old enough to go through this, but I have read.
Mm.
Possibly, it is close to, in some ways, to 1969 popular uprising. Post independence, we haven't seen this kind of situation. Post 1991, we haven't seen this kind of situation because we haven't seen this kind of regime in power as well. You know, so this is unfortunate. I pray for those who are stuck there. I hope there would be measures so that they can be rescued. I hope there will be no violence that is perpetrated against the demonstrator as well as anyone else. Properties should be protected. I am not trying to encourage anybody for violence, but responsibility lies with the state, responsibility lies with the government. I hope they will come to senses and they will take immediate action instead of trying to, delay the whole thing, hoping things will come down by itself.
Thank you, Professor Ali Rios. Thank you for being with us such a short notice. And dear viewers, we are coming back with Professor Ali Rios again, and that is only in Bangla. So see you soon, and stay safe. Thank you.